What you doing, won't you come on down to MadelynPoulson.com. This is Mad Talks.
Boop boop doo doo doo.
Boo boo doo doo doo
Hey
doo
y'all.
doo doo. And we're back. Woo, Jesus, I know I'm late. I don't want to hear it. All right. People have been sending me messages on my new laptop. Look at it. It's a little convertible. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let me not do that because it's probably gonna break. But anyway, people have been sending me messages. Where is the Mad Talk? I'm so sorry. The snow came, and it was just a lot. I couldn't sleep. It was just too much going on. Like, I couldn't make the Mad Talk. So, okay. But we're here. And I'm here. And I have real questions from real people. So let's get started. So welcome to episode, what is this? 5. And then I felt really bad because I was like, my last episode was so depressing. Like, I watched it once, and that's when I edited it. And I was just like, oh, I want to take this down. And people came up to me and was like, I'm so happy you posted it. And so I felt good, whatever. So one suggestion was that I had my Mad Talk on my bed. So here's my bed. Welcome to my junkie room. All right, let's get started. Boo, 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 boo. This comes from Haley. I think she lives in Greenville. I don't remember where she lives, but I love her. Yes, and she asks, how hard is it for you to go to school in another state and be so far away from your family? Thank you so much, Haley, for watching. I love you so much. Sometimes it's very hard to be away from my family, especially like when really hard things happen. For example, like what I was talking about last episode, that was very hard to be away from like my home base and my support system. But what I'm lucky in a sense because like I go everywhere and I meet people that become my family. Like when I was in Italy, I met such good friends. Even though I knew no one in the beginning, I left with like lifelong friends. When I came to UNCG, I knew no one and I left with lifelong friends. And so, I'm lucky that I'm able to meet people who become my family, like my surrogate family. But it is hard, I miss gossiping with my mom and talking about, Love and Hip Hop and Ratchet shows. I miss my brother who's in England right now. And with the time difference, it's very hard to talk. And he's like my best friend, and so I miss him a lot. I miss my sister who lives back in Virginia, and so, and I miss my dad who lives in California, so there's a time difference there. My grandma lives in Virginia, so we're all around the United States, and I miss them so much, but I'm lucky that, I have a good set of friends that helps keep my mind off of how much I miss them. Because one day I want to move to New York, and I can't put my mom in my pocket. I want to put it in my pocket so we can talk about ratchet stuff, but, But thank you so much for the question, Haley. Haley, you have another question here, and I'm going to act like someone else asked me, so don't get upset. Okay, this comes from Bob in Cincinnati. Thank you so much, Bob, for watching. Bob asks, where do you buy your pants from? Like your go-to place. Thank you so much, Bob. I don't know why you want to know that. You're a man, but whatever. Bob, I buy my pants from the thrift store, I don't wear jeans a lot of times because I hate jeans. I feel like whatever pants I have on, I should be able to bust into a split. And Levi's, they just do not cut it. I cannot bust into the splits. Bob, like, come on. But anyone who knows me knows that, like, I know you guys are saying, like, why should she keep checking? Because last episode, my camera died in the middle of shooting, and so, I'm being really ratchet, but I'm just making sure it's not dying because then I have to refilm and then I gotta act like it was a commercial break and then the editing. I like to do one full video, you know what I mean? I'm just talking beep beep boop and then the camera dies and then I look and I'm like, okay, only half the episode filmed. It's so ridiculous. A lot of people don't know what goes into this, but being a one-woman show is hard because I can't see. Anyway, the orange light is flashing, so I just belched. That was not cute. But anyway, I like leggings and I like the thrift store, you know what I mean? I don't wear a lot of pants. I like a good old skirt, but sometimes you have to wear pants. I have like 2 pairs of Levi's and the rest are like no name brand jeans or pants from the thrift store. I love the thrift store because I don't like to look like everybody else. This was a good idea to have it in my bed because I can just stretch out. I don't like to look like everybody else. I don't like to look like Sally Joe who gets all of her stuff from Forever 21. Even though I love Forever 21, I also like to stand out like this thrift store. attire. You know, I just like something different, you know. Bob. Bob trying to get in my jeans. Ooh, okay. Let's see. We got some more questions. Thank you so much, Bob from Cincinnati. Delaney, I see your question. Where is the episode? Okay. Carmen, you too. Okay, okay. Jesus. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, we're still rolling. We're still rolling. I'm sorry that I'm rushing, but I'm nervous that it's going to down me, and I'm about to redo this. Jesus. Okay. My friend Lacey asked a lot of questions. This one thing I don't like about this laptop. I bought it with it was only like $400. I call it a no-no. It's a Lenovo. Okay, see, this is what I don't like. Because it's touchscreen, but sometimes it don't want to work. Look at it right now. Not working. Okay. Jesus. The offense all around me every day. Okay, I don't know what is going on. It's probably this terrible Wi-Fi. Province Wi-Fi is so doo-doo. I live in a apartment. What is apartment? An apartment complex called Province, and it's really nice, but one thing I can say is the Wi-Fi is terrible. Okay, hold on a second. But this part want to work, but the other part doesn't want to work. Alright, whatever. Jesus. Okay. Click. Okay, I got it. Okay, she asked me about 16 questions. So, okay, we're still rolling. Yes. Okay. The first one is, it's actually a story. Okay, Lacey. Or maybe this is anonymous. I don't think this is really about her, but whatever. And her roommate probably don't watch this. Anyway, dear Maddie, I have a very disrespectful roommate. She tries to have her boyfriend stay with us for 3 months, which we were not having. Ever since then, things have gotten worse. Do you have any advice on how to deal with these types of situations? Thank you so much, anonymous. Girl. Okay. I've been pretty lucky when it comes to roommates. Like my freshman roommate, we weren't like best friends, but like we can get along. We got along pretty well. And then my sophomore year, I lived with all my friends. My junior year is when I started to run into trouble. I lived with this girl. Her name is to not be said because she hated me. She also hated all of my friends. So it was 3 of us who were friends before, and then this other girl. And you know me. I'm very like chill, and I'm also very like boop boop boop, like let's all be friends. Like I'm very easygoing. It's very easy to be my friend. Okay, so this girl had her boyfriend over all the time, which was fine. Her little peanut head boyfriend. But what was weird was because she lived down the hall from her boyfriend. So why can't you be over there sometime? Like it's not like he lived on the other side of town. They lived on the same floor and everything. So that was weird. So also like what was weird is that she never wore pants. Now me personally, I hate pants, which we already talked about. Like I don't like wearing pants in the house. People are like, girls are like, when I get home, the first thing I take off is my bra. No, the first thing I take off are my pants. The only reason why I have pants on right now is because I'm tired of having to edit out my vagina. Okay? So basically, she never wore pants. And those are all like little baby things that her boyfriend was always at the house. But then like when I would see her on the street or around the campus, she would like give me a stank face. Like she would be like that, and she wouldn't speak. Like it could be only me and her in the hallway, and she would not speak. And so I took it upon myself to ask her. Now this is what I would say. If all of the roommates have a problem with this one girl, y'all all don't need to sit down with the girl because it feels like ganging up. So what you want to do is actually, you know, talk about your problems with her separately, because you don't want to be a gang up situation. Because I've been on the other side of that where it felt like people were ganging up on me, and you know it's like when you corner a cat, they try to claw at your face and stuff because they get like sad or whatever. So she was by herself, and I was like, hey, so and so, let's make her name Marge. Hey Marge. And she was like, hey. And I was like, I don't know if like you have a problem with me, and I don't know if I upset you by doing anything, but I just, you know, I've noticed like when we're not in the house you don't speak, or like even when you're walking in the house and we're all sitting in the living room, you don't speak, and I'm always like, hey, how's your day? And you're like, fine. So I just was wondering if I ever did anything, or if that's just your face. And she said, that's just my face. And I said, okay, well, you should smile sometimes. Jesus loves you. And I walked away. Then my friends came over. She was kikiing with my friends. We were all having a great time. Later, I found out that she emailed the RA and was like, I don't like that her friends are here. And we had to have a sit down with the RA. Now, I said that whole story to say this. I think what needs to be established in the beginning is the respect issue. Because a lot of things can be avoided if you just respect the person. You do not have to be best friends with your roommates. It's great if you become best friends and y'all are kikiing and doing each other's braids and painting each other's nails and gluing in each other's weaves. But you don't need that to be a successful living situation. What you do need is respect. And so what I think goes into respect is, if someone brings up an issue, you need to listen. And this is more for your roommate, so you might just want to sit her down and let her listen to this episode. You need to listen and try to be attentive. And you, as the person with the problem, you need to approach the problem in a way that you would want someone to approach you. Me personally, if we're friends and we live together, I don't like a whole bunch of beep boop bop, like you writing notes or whatever. I would rather you come to me personally. But I tell that to all my friends so they know that I live with. I tell them, like, this is how I like to be approached. You won't know that. Sorry. I'm like, okay. You won't know that until you ask the person, how would you like to be approached in these types of situations? So the girl might have the attitude if all three of y'all, how many people you live with, come and turn like, look, Tina, we don't like that your boyfriend already over here, blah, 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 blah. If you gang up on her, she might feel a certain type of way. So I would try to come to her alone and, you know, express your grievances and then go from there. Now, after you express your grievances, if she continues to do the same thing and the behavior does not change, I would, you know, express it to her again. I would give her 2 good times. I give everybody 2 good times. And then after that, I would go above and beyond. Like, I'm quick to go above and beyond. But that's just me personally. For example, as you can see this wall here, I share this wall with somebody else. Someone else lives over here. And they like to do what I like to call rhythmic gymnastics in their bed, or what you might call sexual activity. They like to have sex behind this wall, right? And so it would be like at 8 in the morning or 2 in the morning. And, you know, sometimes I would be back. And at first they would stop. Then they would, last time they started beating back. And I said, okay, but they kept having sex. Like their headboard would hit against my bed and wake me up. Now, one thing you do not want to do is wake me up, because I have an attitude problem. So what I did was, and it was 8 in the morning. My class wasn't until 1 o'clock. I put on my cloak so quick, and I went over there and I knocked on the door. Someone opened the door and she was like, hello. I said, hi. I live next door and we share a wall, and I don't know who it is, but they keep waking me up. And I guess they're having sex or something, but they have woken me up way too many times, and I'm gonna need it to stop. And so the girl who answered the door, it wasn't her, but the girl behind her was like, where she at? Like, she had an attitude. And I said, you woke me up, and I really would appreciate it if you would stop. After that, it wasn't as bad. But one other time, they did go OD, and I feel like they did it on purpose because I approached them in a mature and adult way. So I called the police on them. I did. I'm not going to lie to you. I called the non-emergency line because my sleep is everything. Like, I do a lot. I go to school. I have 2 full-time low-key jobs. Like, I do a whole lot. I don't have time to be staying up because you want to have a good time. And I don't want to hear anyone having sex unless I'm a participant. Everybody knows that. And so if you're having sex, I feel great for you. I'm excited. At least somebody is. But I don't want to be unless I'm a participant, I don't want to hear that. And let me tell you, I'm not a participant. The same thing goes with upstairs roommates. They be boop, boop, boop. It was so embarrassing because my mom was here for Christmas and my upstairs roommates were having rhythmic gymnastic practice in their bed. And I was just like, Mom, I'm so sorry. And she just was like, you know, she was like, it's just so tacky. And I felt bad because you know, that's awkward. So I think I said all that to say this, anonymous. You should try to have a conversation. It seemed like you did try to have a conversation, but I would try to sit her down again and be like, hey, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like, we all live here, we all pay rent, especially when there's money involved. Like, we all pay rent, and I feel like there should be a mutual respect. I respect you. We don't have to be friends, but when there's respect not in the play, I'm gonna have to talk to the landlord, and that's what you're gonna have to do. The fact that he's been living there for 3 months, and especially if he's not adding anything to the house, he not cooking for the family, he not taking out the trash. You know what I mean? It's great that he's contributing to your happiness, but I can't catch that at the local BB&T. So goodbye. Thank you, anonymous. I hope that answers your question. Okay. The next question is, what's one thing you wish you could tell yourself at 15 years of age? And this comes from Peter in Illinois. Thank you, Peter, for watching. At 15, I would tell myself to, what was I doing at 15? Was that 9th grade, 10th grade? I would tell myself to focus on school, because, I mean, when I was in high school, freshman and sophomore year, I did not care. I mean, I cared enough. Like, I got like a 3.1 or something, but I could have did so much better, but I just did not care. Like, I just was like, I just want to go to college. But I wasn't thinking in terms of like, this is a springboard to college, you know what I mean? Like, everything is a stepping stone, and I wasn't thinking like that. And so if I would go back, I would tell myself to work my hardest, even when I'm in high school or like middle school, and not get wrapped up in like who got a boyfriend, who don't, you know? Because I didn't get my first kiss until I was like about to go into 11th or 12th grade. So I was, in that sense, like behind the curve. And so, like, it didn't bother me, but at the same time it kind of did, because I felt like I wasn't experiencing things that like my friends were experiencing. Some of my friends, you know, at that time were already like sexual active, and my thing is just like, everyone does that on their own, you know, timeline. Like, there's no rush, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to find a high school sweetheart. You might not even find a college sweetheart, you know what I mean? But what you can do is focus on your goals and dreams, and that will attract the person who's also focusing on their goals and dreams, and together you can create more goals and dreams, you know what I mean? Like, when you're young, it's like, oh my gosh, everyone has a boyfriend, who am I going to take to prom, who am I going to take to the homecoming? But like, really, it's not even a big deal. Like, just calm down, Maddie, relax, it's going to be fine. There's no rush. There is no rush. Okay. I'm only do one more question because, Lord, I'm tired. I just got out of rehearsal. I'm so tired, y'all. Okay. What's your favorite current television series? Acceptable answers are Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, Empire, and Grey's Anatomy. LOL. And that comes from Egypt in Montreal. Ooh, we got international people. Okay, thank you so much, Egypt. My favorite TV shows right now, I don't really watch TV, I'm going to be honest. And what I'm about to tell you, a lot of people are going to judge me, but I don't care. My like Vice, my like, what is a good, not Vice, but not Pastime. What is it? Indulgence? What is the word? You probably watching this like, girl, it's this, but I can't hear you because it's a camera. What is it called? I'm about to Google it. What is it called? Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure. Okay, my guilty pleasure is reality TV. Now, I know I'm not about to get in a debate about this, about reality TV and how they portray black women, because we already know. The thing about it is, if you're watching TV, this is going to get off topic, but I don't care. If you're watching reality TV to see a real depiction of black women, then you're already wrong. I just want to let you know. Like, reality TV is fake. So, like, why you're not going to watch How to Get Away with Murder and really think Viola Davis is out here killing people? I don't really know. As you can see, I'm far behind. But, because I watched half a season of How to Get Away. I loved it, but it just got so complicated. And when you start missing episodes, you like, okay, who got the shovel? And who, the guy from Orange is the New Black is in it? Blah, blah, blah. So, I say all that to say this, that I do like reality TV. I don't care if it's Real Housewives or Love and Hip Hop. It's so trashy and terrible, but it's so like I can just get home from like rehearsal or something and just turn my brain off and just watch it. You know what I mean? And maybe it's also because I'm an actor, so sometimes like when I'm watching TV or movies, it's hard to turn my brain off and not think about like, oh, they were pushing in that moment. They didn't really feel that like that wasn't a real moment. You know what I mean? So I have to like reality TV is like so ratchet and terrible that it's so easy to watch. So I told you I like Love and Hip Hop. I like really every terrible reality TV show. Cutting in the ATL, Real Housewives, Basketball Wives. I kind of watched all those really terrible TV shows. I know it's really bad. What also, so you know we were snowed in, right? Cause I lived in Virginia. I know what we were snowed in North Carolina. And I had, you know, all these days where I had nothing to do because where could I go? I watched the 10 hours of Making a Murderer. I did. I'll admit it. I watched 10 hours. I love documentaries. I love the first season of Orange is the New Black. I loved that. I loved Scandal, but I don't like Scandal no more because Olivia Pope doesn't help anybody anymore. That's why I like Scandal. I watched it to see her help people. She ruins people's lives, like, and she's just doing too much. Like Fitz, like I can't watch it because I liked when people would come to her and be like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't kill this girl, but it looked like I did because my DNA is all over her," and like she helps them. I like that, or you know whatever. But now it's just like she's sleeping with everybody and boo 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 boo. I'm just not into it anymore. I watched like the first season of Empire. It just gotten too crazy. Like after she wore that monkey suit, I was over it. And Lee Daniels was throwing everything in but the kitchen sink. I couldn't watch it anymore. Same with American Horror Story. I loved the first season. I loved the third season. The second season was alright. It was real scary. I couldn't watch Clown Town or whatever it was called, and I definitely couldn't watch Hotel. I just can't. I don't know why it's like cool to display rape in every episode. Like why? And it's just like every episode somebody getting raped, someone dead. Like I just can't. It just disturbs my spirit, and I always feel like I need to put holy oil over my doorway when I watch that, so I don't watch it no more. What else? That's about it. Like I don't really watch a lot of TV. It doesn't seem like it as I talked about every TV show on right now. Okay, so this last part, this video is probably 30 minutes, but I just want to talk about hashtag Oscar so white because people keep asking me about it, and I want to talk about current things up here too. So this is like what I'm going to talk about. This is my main topic for this episode. So, of course, I watched the Aunt Viv thing. I watched Will Smith. And if you don't know anything about this, I'll put some links in the description so you can read up on it. I mean, it's everywhere. I don't know how you don't know about it. Sally and Jane. Anyway, so basically it's about like people boycotting the Oscars because of the lack of diversity and diverse stories, and also the lack of nominations or nods toward African American, people of color, actors, directors, producers, screenwriters, all across the board. There's like 0 people of color at all. I think there's like 1 and they're Hispanic this year. And people are saying like it's been 2 years in a row. They don't give anything unless you play a slave. And then Chris Rock is hosting it, and people are like, he needs to step down. I'm like, okay, so this is how I feel. This is MADDTalks. This is my personal opinion. Okay. Number 1, I don't think Chris Rock should step down. Why? Because he needs that check. I mean, and also he's not like he's going to talk about the issues. It's not like he's going up there and acting like this is the best. You know, and people are like, he's cooning and he's tap dancing. But is he? Because we know Chris Rock. He is unfiltered. I'm sure he's going to say things that are pertinent to how we all feel about it. Second, I think that diversifying the Academy is important. Do I think that's the only thing that needs to happen? No. Because let's say, you know, I know that the Academy is made up of old white people. Okay? They look old and white. They're all like 162. And I understand that. And that is a problem. They are all old white people. I don't have a problem with old white people, but they don't need to be making all these decisions. But that being said, even if you throw a lesbian in there, a black person, someone with one leg, someone with an eye patch. That's not going to fix the fact that movies aren't being made or being funded with people with diverse stories and, you know, diverse voices, from diverse voices. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, like, you can make the Academy look like the United Nations, but at the end of the day, if the movies aren't being funded and being pushed and being talked about with Oscar buzz, it's not gonna work. The Oscars are a reflection of the industry, and so unless we change the industry, the Oscars are always gonna look like, you know, what is a white thing? I don't want to say something that's like kind of racist, because I was gonna say it looks like a Starbucks, but black people like Starbucks. But you know what I mean? Like it's gonna look how it's gonna look, because it's a reflection of what people think good movies are, what people think, you know, are the highest talented people, and that's what the Oscars reflect. Now, the thing about Will Smith and all of that, I didn't see Concussion, and I didn't see Creed, and I didn't see Beast of No Nation, so I cannot speak on those 3 movies. I saw Straight Outta Compton. When I watched the movie, did I say, this is going to be nominated for Oscar? No. And maybe that's a problem, and maybe that's why the tide needs to change. But I didn't watch it and say, oh my God, this needs to be nominated for Oscar. I thought it was well done. I thought it was great. But the fact that we have to bank on 4 movies, and we just hope that these 4 movies get nominated out of how many movies are made every year, is the problem. That's the real problem. Straight Outta Compton was good. But there should be other things that we should be looking at. And also, my problem with Oscar White is that we're only focused on the fact that there are not any black people. Minorities don't just include black people. I know this is going to be shocking. News flash. Zzz, I wish it can go across the screen, but I don't have the equipment, y'all, to do all that. But like news flash, like it's not, minorities aren't just black people or aren't just women. Like there's so many other different types of people. There's a problem with intersectionality, and I don't want to get too deep or too heavy, but there's so many different problems with that. The idea that because there's no black movies or people playing slaves, that's the issue. And the issue is so much bigger than that. And if we want to really change the Academy, yes, a great step is getting all these old white men, you know, telling them, you know, you can sit down and we got this from here, you know, and bringing in new voices. But the also problem is, where is the money for black people, like myself, who like to write, who like to act, who like to make their own content, to make it on a wider scale? Where is it? Where are the grants? Where's the money? Where's the backing? And yes, that's how I really feel. That's how I feel about the Oscar White issue. I think it's focusing on the wrong thing. I don't act to get a trophy at the end, because if I did that, I would not be acting. Because there's like, I don't do it for critical acclaim. I do it because I love the craft, I love the art. And I understand, I put myself in Will Smith's shoes, and the fact that like he thinks this was a great work and it was looked over. And I get that, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, that is a small, minuscule thing compared to the big issue, which is where is the funding, where's the backing, where's the belief, and where is the focus on people of color, people from different backgrounds, in making films and media that we want to watch. And we've seen it time and time again. You can't say that it's because black people or color people don't go to the movies, because time and time again, color people are the ones who watch TV. They're the ones who go to the movies. You know what I mean? And if you look at something, and the problem with representation is when you have a show that is supposed to show the best and brightest, and they all look like columns on an old building, old, crusty, and white, it tells people Oscar So White is a complicated but simple issue. You know, we need to see people in places of power that are disabled and have different sexual orientations or different colors, because when a child looks at that and says, hey, I can be that. So that's why the Scandals and the How to Get Away with Murders and, you know, all these different shows are important, is because when they see the best and brightest can be black, can be Latino, can be Asian, they're saying, hey, I can be that. And that's why representation is important. Not necessarily that we need to win every award, but the fact that they are in the group of the best and brightest says something. It says something about America. The Oscars do not reflect America, and that's the big problem. Because when you walk down the street in America, it is a lot of times you don't just see white old people that look like, the dollar bill. You see people who are black and white and mixed and racially ambiguous, and it's just that's not being represented, and that's what I have a problem with Us Is So White. It's so much deeper than we don't get a trophy, and I feel like they're going to try to put a band-aid on this issue, and next year we're going to, a black person's going to win every award or whatever. But that's not the issue. That's not the problem. The problem is the movies and the funding are not being given to the people who have stories to tell, like myself. So if you got some money, let's make it happen. And we're relying on either the Tyler Perry or the Viola Davis, and those are your only two options. You can either play in The Help or you can play Madea Goes to the Moon. Those are the only two options, and that's the issue. That's the issue. That's the problem. And people are thinking of it in a very small, minuscule way of like numbers and how black people have not been represented. But it's more than that. It's more than that. They're not being told, their stories are not being told in beautiful and heartfelt ways, and they're not complex. You know what I mean? So yes, change the Academy and make them look a little bit more like America, but also change who's at the top of the producing list. You know what I mean? Change what they look like. Invest in people who are the underdog, and maybe we won't have to look at the same 6 movies about white people falling in love in front of the Nicholas Sparks movie. Like, I just don't. I mean, white love is great, don't get me wrong, but so is every other type of love. And I mean, if we're going to talk about the human experience, how about we talk about somebody else? Then Jen meets John, and Jen and John break up because John kind of like Betty too, but then they get back together, and it's a happy-go-lucky movie, and people are crying, whatever. Let's talk about something else besides that. Let's talk about other things than slavery. Now, I mean, slavery is an important part of our history, but let's move on from that. Black people can be more than slaves, they can be more than the help, and they can be more than just Africans with guns and Hotel Rwanda. You know what I mean? We can be so much more than that. We are people of complexity. Minorities are people of complexity, and just because a person's in a wheelchair doesn't mean you know their story. Let's have people who have disabilities or different. They come from diverse or adverse backgrounds, and let's watch them fall in love. Why can't there be a black couple, a black and white couple, or some type of couple, Asian and black couple fall in love without it being about race or turning into a black movie? We don't watch Carol with Kate Blanchett and think it's a white movie. We don't watch The Room and think it's a white movie, even though it's about white people. I mean, we didn't watch Silver Linings Playbook and say, wow, that was a great white film. No, because white is the default. You don't have to say it's a white film. You just guess that because it's a great film, it has to be white. And that's the issue. And that's what needs to change in Us Is So White. It's not... Look, we could talk about this for 2 years. Anyway, if you want to know more about my opinion, just let me know, because I can do a whole episode about the Oscars, black people, white people, and the industry. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for sending your questions. I have some more questions for next week. I'm so excited. I'm also going to do another fun episode. It's going to be really crazy, and I'm so excited to have it. Sorry that this episode was late, y'all. I'm so sorry, but whew, that snow, I could not. Like, I just could not do anything, and like, it was just too much going on. Beep, beep, boop, bop. I almost died walking to class. They do not care about paving the roads, and I care, because I almost died. All right, I'm already clumsy. Boop, 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 doo. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. Good night. See you next time, hopefully on Monday. And on time, I'm on Colored People time.
What you doing, won't you come on down to MadelynPoulson.com. This is MADDTalk.